and Pine River Baptist School District. You are in for an absolutely fantastic evening. Fun, you'll laugh, you might have a few tears along the way, and I guarantee you you're going to take away information that will help you in working as we all do as parents now in the online world and the social media world. Kevin brings a great deal of expertise and experience with this. He hates being called an expert, so I should probably use that word.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. My real introduction is supposed to be Kevin Honeycutt taught for 13 years and now he talks to people. He talks really well to people. Thank you for being here. I know Kevin's willing to hang out after we're done here tonight too. If you got questions or things you don't feel comfortable asking in a public forum, he'll be here for you. And if there's anything we can do as a district to support the work that's done here, please let me know. We want to make sure everybody's in a good place as well. So ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome for Kevin Honeycutt.
Thank you. So I'll tell you who I am. I'm a dad, and I have a son that's 24 years old. He just took a teaching job in Colorado Springs. So my wife and I moved out to Colorado Springs, but 2 years ago, just over, my wife and I, me being 49 and her being, I won't say her age, we got pregnant again. Bonus baby, right? So I think God said, if you're going to talk about raising digital kids, I'm going to give you a fresh one. So at my house, I have a 2.5-year-old, and I'm tired. It's so nice to be on the road because I can sleep. It's so good. But now that makes me know that I've got to stay in the game. I've got to understand the world. I've got to be online beside my child. I've got to try to help raise a digital kid. And no one taught me this. I was born in 1966. Some of you parents, you're young Jedi Padawan learners compared to me. I'm an old man, right? So I'm going to talk about some things tonight, and I'm hoping that you think, wow, if that old man's doing that, maybe I should do that too. What I'm trying to convince you is that we have to live beside our children. If they want to do something, sadly, we have to do it too, if we're going to understand it. This is like as if they're saying, hey, I want to get my own YouTube channel. Fine, Mom, you need to understand YouTube. And child, you got to help her understand YouTube. That's your responsibility. She's going to be nervous. Teach her. They need to learn too, right? So how do you make a safe YouTube channel? If you're a kid, make it all about the game. Make it all about the screen capture. Make it all about the narration, not about what you look like. See, whenever kids talk about what they look like, that's all about image, right? And that's the stuff that gets the attention of people we don't want to have their attention, right? But if you're talking about your love of poetry, and you're talking about how you love to hunt, and you're talking, it's all about what you're showing people. So take that past Mom and Dad. Here's my rule with my kid that I gave him early on. Here's my rule. It's very simple. If I can't see it, you can't say it. My kid did not like this. I do not care. If my kid would be embarrassed for me to see it, when the whole world sees it, they're going to be real embarrassed. So I'm going to give you a couple of filters. Never post anything you'd be embarrassed if your grandma saw. If you can just follow that rule, we're all going to be fine, right? I'm not going to tell you to raise your hand, but do any of your kids have anything online right now you'd be embarrassed if your mom saw? Don't raise your hand, but do think about it. If you do, you need to take that down. Because if the whole world saw it, your life's going to change. What you need to publish is things that make you look good. I mean look good to a scholarship committee, not look good. See, there's a difference between a selfie and what I call a soul selfie. Here's a soul selfie. Hashtag soul selfie. Ready? I hold up my phone and say, hi, my name is Kevin Honeycutt. I'm a speaker. I travel all over the world. I talk to people about how to use technology to build a better life. I love doing this work. It's what I live for. Thanks for watching. Stop. Publish. YouTube. Soul selfie. Hashtag soul selfie. And I publish that. What I'm basically telling the world is not what I look like, but what I stand for. That's different. But if we're not talking about this, they're just going to do stuff. Parents, raise your hand if you made a mistake when you were a kid. Mm-hmm. Can I Google those mistakes? Oh, thank God. You're analog. Nice for you. Your kids are on the record. Every time they status update, every time they tweet, every time they Snapchat, and don't make any mistakes. Snapchat doesn't just disappear. It's on a server because someone hacked it, because they always do. And they found all of those images of famous people, and they held them for ransom. Don't think that there's something that will let you have a free pass. That's just not how life works. Oh, boyfriend wants a picture. Oh, don't worry, I'll send it on Snapchat. It'll disappear. Because he'd never take a picture of the picture with a second phone. Because boys would never do that. And then send it to everyone in town, which has happened in towns that I've gone to. People have asked my advice, and what do I do? Says a pastor in western Kansas about his 12-year-old daughter. She thought he loved her. So they had to move. How do we get out in front of this? The only way I know, the only way I've ever known, is that if my kid is doing something, I either say he can't or I do it too. So I have a YouTube channel. I'm sorry, I don't make great YouTube videos. I don't care. I'm not in this to be liked by you. I'm in this to be a role model for my child. So Mom, what if you had a YouTube channel? And it was just simple kitchen creations on a budget. I think that'd be a good channel. And I don't know, you might not have that many views. I'm not sure. You might have 1 million. I don't know. One of my videos, How to Draw a Great White Shark, has 500,000 views right now. Every Shark Week, I make $100 on that one video. So maybe you make your own program and you use your program to promote her program. You promote his. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? What would that hurt? And now you understand YouTube. Welcome to the party, Mom. Right? So my wife and I, there's so much stuff. We have to divide it up. She watches YouTube. She watches Instagram. I watch everything else. It's just a lot, right? The biggest thing we have to know is that wherever kids are using technology, turn the lights on there. If they're on the Xbox, I had a dad, he said, I hate the Xbox. I said, why? My kid's playing games with strangers and they're dropping the F-bomb in my living room and I don't care for it. I said, what are you doing about that? He said, well, I can't do anything. He bought it with his allowance money. I said, did he purchase your manhood too? You're still dad, right? It's your house, right? You can have rules. It's okay. And that device is not their diary. It's not their privacy. Look, buy them a diary. Write anything you want. I'll never read your diary. But if you're talking to someone online, people say, well, it's my BFF. It's safe. Best friend forever. Because girls never get in a fight and hate each other. That never happens. So let's pretend that you're my BFF and we're talking about, those people and that boy and all that stuff. It's my deepest, darkest secrets. But it's all cool because we're BFFs, right? Then we get in that big fight at the cafeteria tomorrow. Now you hate me. And you go in and quickly screen capture all of that chat history so you can use it against me later. And you start publishing it to the entire school. And my life is ruined. Because I trusted you. See, texting and chatting is as safe as how much you trust the person you're talking to forever. So I would tell you this. You should be allowed to be a kid. You should be allowed to change your mind. You should be allowed to be weird. Does it all have to be online? What if some of us would just mouth to ear? My word against yours. So if we all go weird, it's just stuff you can say. But you can't prove it. Maybe some conversations are that private if you don't put them out there. Maybe. This thing I'm talking about, whether to publish or not publish, I call it netiquette. Etiquette, netiquette, right? Just think, if I publish this, does my life get better if the whole world sees it, or does my life get worse? If you'll just think that, I think you'll be fine, right? We all got friends that make bad choices online. Do any of you have family members who go on Facebook and embarrass you? Raise your hand if that happens. Me too, right? I can prove my family's crazy. 1 minute they're praising the Lord, next minute they're saying awful, awful words. Next page, they're praising the Lord again. What, are they in church or in a biker bar? I don't even know where they are here. They can't decide who they are, and they use Facebook as therapy. I have a career. I have a reputation. I can't connect to that. They will ruin me. So I love them and I pray for them, but I can't stand beside them in daylight. I have to unfriend them. And I tell them, I'm sorry. If you keep talking that way, I cannot be your friend. You understand, I taught the teacher. That could never be on my screen. And if they can't handle it, we're done. Sorry, that was a choice I had to make. So people judge you by the people you are friends with, and that has not changed. That's been true since before we were born. Your grandma told you you are who you associate with. This is still true online. So if your best friend looks like your best friend on Facebook, when I go to her page, good grief, the stuff she publishes. And I know you don't, but your best friend does. So my assumption, you're like her, because you like her. So if you want to be, let's say you want to be a Christian, talk to her. Hey, you're coming across kind of, you know what I mean? I mean, if you're a good person, are you a good person everywhere? Or are you a good person everywhere except online? Do you have what I call a secret life? Because if you got a secret life, that breeds sociopaths and politicians. No, we're totally kidding. All right? So, how will you start building this reputation? You already did. His mom, Facebook, Instagram, Vine, Twitter, your sonogram pictures and videos. You were online before you were out of the uterus, most of you. Interesting, huh? People say, when do you start talking to children about this? Are they touching a device? Then now. Now. You don't have to talk about everything, but if they're touching a device, so think about this. Anyone ever make you mad and you want to respond, but you think about it for a while? Let's say you get mad and you're driving home. By the time you get home, you've decided not to react the way you were going to react because you have a mortgage or a job. You know what I mean? Adults think that way. Guess how kids think? And it's not your fault, kids. Okay? Kids make a decision first and then think of the ramifications. Adults think of the ramifications and then make a decision. That's all about growing up. That's all about developing a part of your brain right behind your forehead called the prefrontal cortex. It's the thing in your brain that makes decisions, and it's the last thing to develop in a human. How cute. They asked junior high kids this question in the research. Is it a good idea to swim with sharks? At 15, most girls say no. Guess what boys say at 15 mostly? Could be cool. Exactly. If you had friends with you, yeah, more snacks for the sharks, right? The research shows that girls begin to develop this prefrontal cortex pretty fully by the age of 16, and men marry one. Yeah. So what have you added to your digital legacy? Now kids, parents, steal my words. Digital legacy. What's digital legacy, Mr. Honeycutt? Everything I can Google about you and find out. That's your digital legacy. That's basically your reputation that you, by the way, you built. Right? Well, people shouldn't judge me based on what I said on Facebook. You said it. How do I not judge you on your own words? The hardest day in the world is when the bomb comes out of the sky that's going to get you and you can't get away. All you can do is pray and wait. The last thing you see on the side of the bomb is your signature. Don't do that. So when you're mad, take your hands off the device. Take your hands off the device. Right? They used to teach us, any old parents in here, when you're mad at your child, right? Set them down, count to 10, take a deep breath so you don't kill your child. You know what I mean? There's a digital version of that where you set the device down, count to 10, and think, okay, if I do what I think I'm about to do, will I be fired? Abraham Lincoln wrote 2 copies of many famous letters. First the one he meant, and then the one he sent. That's pretty smart, right? Think about a president who thinks before he shares. I don't know. Think about Lincoln. What were you thinking? I don't even know what you think. Lincoln did that, right? That's freaking brilliant. How many of you grown-ups have ever written an email but you didn't send it? But it felt good to write it, didn't it? You 3 pages long, you said it all. That's good therapy. But then delete. Kids, get mad. Write the text. Write it off. Just don't send it. Get it out of your system. Use it for therapy. But if you send it, there's a fire now. Because you just joined the fight. I get called in after that happens. When parents have jumped in. It's Jerry Springer. People are crazy. Because no one's taught anybody how to live in this world. There's just too much coming at your kids all the time. I call it info-whelm. There's a lot. What are the rules in your house? Rules in my house, no cell phone in the bedroom. Look, how many of you grew up with a rotary dial phone? Got any old people? Remember the rotary dial? Didn't you hate people with zeros in their numbers? They'd go all the way around. All the way to high maintenance much, you know? We invented social networks with something called the party line. Kids, you would have a phone, but 3 different families shared the same line. So you could be on the phone talking to your girlfriend, a very private call, and you hear breathing, and it's not her. Mrs. Cork, are you on this line? No, click. That's hard to have puberty with people listening, you know what I mean? And that was normal. We invented Facebook, right? Here's my rule, common sense rule. Never say or said anything you'd be embarrassed that the whole world saw. In fact, here's what I want you to do. When you're getting ready to share, I want you to start sharing good things. If you volunteered to help people on the weekend, if you picked up trash in the ditches along, that's the stuff you talk about. What a great kid. Boy, she applied for a scholarship. Back in 8th grade, she was volunteering and helping people at the senior center. Scholarship. See what I mean? I call it scholarship bait. Right? Doesn't hurt. Right? So start thinking about, publish that. Publish what you should be proud of. Publish that you love to write. Publish that, I don't know, you like your family vacation. Things like that. But what we end up publishing is stuff no one should know. Right? And that's when you start to develop that secret life. And that'll bring you down. Ask Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods had a secret life, and he was rich, and it still took him down. Right? So be careful what you publish. Think about it before you put it out there, right? We grew up with technology too. How many of you think kids are faster at learning to use new technology? Raise your hand. It's not even close, right? Here's what I think. If a kid is born into a house where they speak 2 languages, the kids easily learn both languages with no lessons. Well, technology is like a language. They learn it easily. They can navigate the machine, they can use the device, but the filter between their ears isn't there yet. That's us, right? So the stuff you know, if you take everything you learned from your mom, do it to others as you'd have them do it to you, and add the word online in the end, it all still works. Isn't that funny? It's the fortune cookie trick, right? Do it to others as you have them do it to you online. You are who you associate with online. Keep doing it. What I want you to know is that you know more than you think you do. Right? And you are invited into their world. There should not be a privacy issue. I make my son save his chat history and I read all of it. What? That's his private business. That was 3 girlfriends ago. I want to see what his liabilities are and what he said to her because now she hates him. And I got to talk to him about this. Do you trust her forever? What if, let's just do what if, okay? Let's say you're a high school girl and you got a BFF and you talk about very private things and you're still growing up, so you're a little silly. You said some stuff you're not going to mean 2 years from now, but you said it back then. And then you forget all about that, and you forget about your BFF, you go to college, blah, blah, blah. You're going through your life, things are getting good. You run for governor and won twice. You're running for president and ahead in the polls. When you get a call from me one night, hey, remember me? Yeah, your old BFF. Yeah. Hey, remember that phone, this crazy phone we used? I kept mine? Yeah. I have your chat history. National Enquirer called me, and they offered me $1 million to share that. Are we still BFF? And what I'm saying is, do you have $1 million? Because if you don't, that's going online. I'm sorry. Then you can get nervous just now. If you did, you can stop that. Right? That's going to happen. It already has. Okay? So do you trust the people you're talking to online? With everything. Okay? So that's a conversation at every dinner table. Right? Conversation. Anyone ever read Grimm's fairy tales? Grimm. They're grim, aren't they? They're terrible. I mean, they're awful. They give kids nightmares. I asked myself, why do people read these to their children? Then I realized what they were. They're not fairy tales, they're cautionary tales. Designed to keep your kids from doing stupid things until they're old enough not to die. We need digital Grimms. And we have it as part of headlines. Stupid things that people do should be dinner table conversation. What did she do? Oh, she took a picture and yeah, we'd never do that, would we? No. I think that's what we're talking about. This world is changing, right? We're all pioneers again, moving west, and there are new realities we face as families. And we got to talk about these things. My biggest fear is when a mom says, well, I'm not really on Facebook, that's her thing. The computer belongs in the family room, not the bedroom. Right? And we should be talking about things. We should. If your kids get ahead of you, sometimes they resent it because they've been free range for a while. I had to pull mine back in a little bit. I couldn't just pull him all the way in. I had to pull me out toward him. I had to get a chat account. I had to do the things he was doing. Because if you try to reel a kid all the way in, you're going to snap the line. Right? You got to pull the boat part way toward there. Right? That means you're online and you're learning too. So, here's my theory. Kids have grown up playing video games, right? Using an interface and playing video games. My kid grew up with Nintendo 64. Does anyone even know that game? Nintendo 64. He loves Zelda. Oh my God, he loves Zelda. Every Halloween he was Zelda. I had to make the sword and the outfit. You have good hair for Link, man. That's good. So you need to meet my son because you guys will get along. He made this outfit. And he was so good, right? So good. And he'd say, Dad, play Madden football with me. And I'd say, no. He'd say, why? And I said, because you'll beat me and I'll hate it. He said, but Dad, didn't you play games when you were a kid? And I did, man. I played this. Remember this? And you kids are so cool because you can make so much fun of our games because they were so lame. But you're cool about it. You're like, plastic. Because you recognize this is where it all started. This is where it came from. How many buttons on that controller? 1. It was perfect. You had a joystick and 1 button. It was so easy. Then Nintendo 64 comes out. 13 freaking buttons, man. I can't work that.
I don't even want to try. So my kid tries to lure me. And he's good. Dad, didn't you play games back in the day? The day. Have you heard this language? The day. He's picturing brontosauruses lumbering across the world, you know, in the day. I said, yeah, I was pretty good at Pac-Man. He said, Dad, you probably got old school skills. I started to believe it. Like, give me that controller. You're on Dad's playground now. Yeah, and we played. And I beat him in Madden football. I didn't even know how the game worked. Somehow I accidentally beat him. He let me win. You ever play volleyball, anyone here? You set the ball, then you do what? He set me, and he spiked me. He let me win one game, and then he destroyed me, man. He smoked my ruin, you know? And I'm like, man, I'm like mature. I'm like, your game is lame, stupid lame game. You ever be so mad that you can't even make sense? Stupid face game, dumb. That's how mad I was. I went out in the garage and got this. These things still work. I hooked it up old school. Back in the day, you had two controllers, one that worked, one that was broke. You gave it to your friend when they came home. You guys did that. Guess which one I gave my son? Because it was tagged from the yard sale. Broke. I'm doing a kickball in hand. Why is it sticky? I don't know. And he used a broke joystick. We played Pac-Man. Remember Pac-Man? It's the only game there was. And remember Atari on the box? The game looked so cool, but then you played the game and it was so bad. You guys, the box is exactly like the game really looks. Grand Theft Auto. If you burn out and burn rubber on a corner, the tire marks stay there. What the heck, man? We have, oh my God, it's a futuristic wonder world. Then the next year, Mrs. Pac-Man came out. Same exact game with a bow in its hair. Worth the money. Yay. But that's what we did. And I beat him. In Madden football. The first game that he beat me, then I said, you're coming to Dad's playground now. House of Pain. And I set up Pac-Man, and I beat him. Ha! The first game. He beat me every game after that with a broken joystick. This will mess with you. Why? Why are they so fast? Why are they so good? There's research on this. Harvard research suggests that kids who grow up playing video games can make up to 110 decisions per minute. I just want you to think about that, because the only people who could think that fast from my generation were astronauts and fighter pilots. I didn't say good decisions. I make remarkably fast decisions. And in a game, that's awesome, right? Piloting the Predator drone, that's awesome. In service of our country, 110 decisions in social media with social ramifications, you think that's good? See how different it is? That's real life, real people. This is a hypothetical game, right? So you need to think about this. If you're going that fast, are you making good decisions? Sometimes it's important to slow it all down. How many of you have a Wii at your house? I bought the Wii Fit because I'm a Wii Fat, so I bought the Wii Fit. When I set it up in front of my family, I didn't know what it was going to do. I set it up and I climbed on. My wife is there, my kid's there. The first step on it makes it sound like you're crushing a baby's hand. Measuring. In front of everyone, she said, "That's obese." It called me fat in front of my family. My wife is laughing, my child is laughing. I said, "Shut your pie hole." My kid said, "If you shut your pie hole, you wouldn't be so fat." No, man, it's cold. Don't be laughing, man. It's cold. That's evil. I lost 30 pounds on the week. Yeah. Right? I love it. I just don't want to be made fun of by a machine. Ever since you guys have been born, there have been computers. Some of you are my age. There were no computers in our schools. We don't remember. They were expensive things. No one knew why they worked or how they worked, right? We were still using the IBM Selector typewriter and thinking that was pretty cool, right? And then laptops. Oh my gosh, these things cost a fortune. They didn't do anything. They had like a 40-second battery life. No one bought them. Laptop, they weighed more than a suitcase. Right? Now you guys got cool ones. Cell phones. Who remembers the early cell phones? The Motorola bag phone. You could defend yourself in a parking lot with one of these, right? It weighed 30 pounds. You could, so you try to mug, you reach out and touch that. Boom! There's enough radiation coming off that handset to cook a tater. You guys up against your brain pan. Hey Rick, I'm on a cellular phone. It's cellular, it's awesome. Like $100 a minute, it's great. Crystal, hello? That was our phone, man. Kids got the phones we were gonna get. The awesome phones, right? Video games that look real, and the internet. Now the internet changed everything.
Suddenly anyone can do anything from anywhere, anytime. It's the best time in the world. It's also the scariest time in the world. It's like a highway. A highway doesn't really have an ulterior motive. It can get you to your wedding, or it can get you killed without driver's ed. Right? So the internet is an awesome thing. But without parents and without advice, without mentors, it can get you killed without driver's ed. Right? So how do we turn the lights on? How do we talk to our kids? And it's always weird because they think our version of things is stupid. The minute you get on Twitter, they're out of there. They've moved over to 15 other things since then. Right? So it's not about the thing they're using, it's about the brain they're using. Right? What helps them make their decisions? How are they doing that? First phones, but remember these? And then you had the rotary dial. Look at that, it's plastic, nice. Then you had push button. Nice. Then, well, this one, remember that? Oh yeah. Big old battery, that thing weighed a lot too. Put it in a sock, you're fine, you can defend yourself. It's fine. Then flip phone. Now some of you still using flip phones, and some of you are proud of that. I got some grandparents who are like, I still like my flip phone. I don't want a smartphone. And they're proud of that. I'm like, okay, fine. Do you use a telegraph too? This thing is, come on, I just want it to be a phone. Okay, but a modern day smartphone, okay, look, oh my gosh, you can take a picture and share it on that flip phone. That is nice. Like, my mom's still using a flip phone. I want to buy her an iPhone. She doesn't want it. She's proud that she doesn't know how to use them. Like, the first time you FaceTime your grandkid and you get to see him on your screen, you will want an iPhone. So how do you get them on that playground? Show them what the thing can do and make it easy. That's the thing. First time it doesn't work and you feel stupid, you don't want that phone anymore. I get it. I understand why. But what is a smartphone? What is a smartphone? These days, let's look at mine for a minute. There's more technology in this phone than took us to the moon in the Apollo package. There's more computing power in this phone than in the entire Apollo space package that we went to the moon with. Do you understand? And it's in their pocket. So what all is this? Is it can it make music? Can it find music? Can it make movies? Can it find movies? Can it find books? How many books? Almost all. As soon as Google is done with this project to put every book online, this will be every book in the world in your kid's pocket. The Library of Alexandria in your pocket. But how are we using these? See, if we don't even know how they work, I mean, if we just use the phone, the flip phone, how are we going to help our kids understand how to build a future with this? I think you can build a future with this, right? So I have a YouTube channel where I share videos, educational videos. I make guitar lessons. I do all of that. You're doing your cooking lessons. It's not about how good the lessons are. It's about how much you start to really understand how this works, right? And you start to get smart. You start to get powerful. Good for you. Rock on, Grandma. You're not Grandma yet, so you're going to be the door. I love it when grandmas join social media. I have a group of grandmas on Facebook. Look them up. They're called the Digital Grannies. They called me. We want to learn LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram, and Twitter. I said, why? We want to mentor our grandkids without embarrassing them. Oh, that's so cool. I do that for free. Grandmas learn how to be on the digital playground. That's awesome. The room smells like nervousness, anticipation, and beignet. That's cool, man. Grandma, welcome to the party, right? So I want to assign kids things here. I want them to show me something they've done that they're proud of and that I'm proud of. Every week I want to give them something to do. So I'm going to share this story with you, my YouTube story. When I was a kid, I wanted a guitar so bad. And my dad found one at a yard sale. We were pretty poor. He found one at a yard sale for $1 with no strings attached. It had no strings attached. So I had to learn how to play guitar before YouTube, right? So there's no one to give me lessons, so I just sort of had to make up what the guitar was going to sound like. So first you strum it with no fingers because you don't know what to do. Then you start putting your fingers on it. I found things like this. It's the first song I ever learned. I made that up. I thought I was a rock star. I thought it was so good. It took forever to learn to play the guitar with no lessons. I thought I invented G, D, C. Little by little, I found chords. And I would slide them around. I bet you know that one. Now I got YouTube. I just looked for
for a song, right? So I'm looking at Hold On Loosely, right? I'll put in Hold On Loosely chords. And up on the ultimateguitar.com is all the chords to the song Hold On Loosely. Then I put Hold On Loosely into YouTube, Hold On Loosely lesson. Who pops up? Jeff Carlisi, the guy from 38 Special who wrote the song. And he's doing the YouTube lesson. So I'm watching him, he's going, okay, it's going to be a... That's the beginning, a drop. Eighth notes. I didn't even know what eighth notes are, but he taught me. I am learning that from the guy, and I'm 50 years old. I am learning things I wanted to learn my whole life now. Anything you can show someone how to do, you can learn on YouTube. But most of the time our kids are just watching funny videos, where a guy cuts down a tree and lands on his truck, and that's cute and all. But what are you getting better at because you got YouTube? I think you can assign that. What are you getting better at? What if, let's say, I don't know, are you a student? Are you a student or a teacher? Student. What year in school? Senior. So let's pretend that you're trying to build some scholarship bait, right? Trying to be good for the world. Let's pretend that you decide to start a reading program where you and your kids read books to children because so many kids in poverty don't get read to. And the research shows that kids who don't get read to don't read very well. So it's a nice thing to do for the universe. You guys start looking up public domain books, because you can't be sued for making audio books out of those. So now let's say you have 100 books you and your volunteer friends do this for, and it becomes a big deal. Then it's time for the scholarship committee, and you just happen to post a link there to your channel where you read books to kids who don't have anyone to read to them, and they say, dang, that kid could be playing games like everybody else, that kid could be playing Angry Birds like everybody else, that kid could be doing puberty and stupid things like everyone else, but he spent his time helping people. They're starting to notice this kind of thing at universities, right? So would that be a terrible thing to do? It looks good on your resume. How many other good things can you do with all of this stuff, right? So I do guitar lessons, and they're not that great. Most kids start guitar, but they don't finish guitar, they don't keep playing because it hurts, literally hurts to play guitar. You have to really want to learn how to play. So I started looking for ways how you get kids not to quit playing guitar by using apps. And I started looking for apps that made guitar a little bit easier because there's no pain. So one of my favorite apps that I show kids on the iPhone and on the iPad is Pocket Guitar. Pocket Guitar turns my phone into the fretboard of a guitar, but I can have to play chords. Here's a G, D, C. It's $1.99, right? And the chords that you learn on here work on that. Hooked them, cooked them. Hooked them, cooked them, right? So this is chord structures, but hey, we can do different things like chord progressions. iShred, I-S-H-R-E-D, lets you do chord progressions and you don't have to know structures yet. So it's a little simpler, right? So let's go to, I'm teaching you A-A-A, D-D-G. Do you know that AC/DC song? I won't say the words in school. Right, so that's iShred. So what else can we do? Here's one of my favorites called harmonica. It turns your phone into... Don't let just anyone do this to your device. You can get cold, catch a cold or something. You know, that's kind of fun. That's called harmonica. I'm going to show you one more called voice band. It lets you hum into the phone, and it will turn your voice into the instrument. It also has auto-tune, so if you don't sing on pitch, it will fix you. So you can build a whole song in this app just by humming. I'm going to use power chords. Sort of cool? Yeah? Voice band, right? So it's got its own recording studio, which is kind of nice. This is called Band, B-A-N-D. It turns my phone into a way that I can teach blues to kids. It has drums. It has dance drums. And a recording studio. It has bass guitar. It has piano. And it has 12-bar blues. This is my favorite part right here. Okay, this is first position, first position. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Let's add some drums, one more finger. Let's add some lead guitar. I just bent a string on my phone, right? Let's pretend I did all that hard work and nobody clapped. Thank you. I appreciate that. Like that. That's right. The app has its own audience, so if you didn't clap, thank you. Come on, guys. Get back to it. It's not that fun. That's amazing to me. Let me show you one more that my son likes because he grew up playing Ocarina of Time. There's an app called Ocarina that turns your phone into an ocarina. My son loves that one because he can just blow into it and he can play. So we're going to do Ocarina here. You blow it to the microphone. Finger positions are on the screen. At smule.com, smule.com, there are thousands of songs, popular music, transposed to these 4 dots. So your finger's down if it's blue, it's up if it's white. Kind of cool, sort of cool? I was playing for you just now. I was also broadcasting worldwide just now. Anyone with this app could have heard me and sent me love. No one's ever sent me love. Just if you hear Amazing Grace, just send me love one time. I just want to get on this sometime because I'm working so hard to try to learn how to use that app. I want to play around with something and show you. I'm going to switch my screen around. And I'm going to need, let's see here. One of you girls at the table there. Can I borrow one of you girls at the table to come up here? Just, yeah, come on. Thank you. Clap for her so she can get here. I'm going to plug you into this iPad here, and I'm going to give you an app, okay? And this is just a simple app that we can go get anywhere, and it's free. Okay, so let's go. Oh, I don't want to do that right now. Dang it. Okay, it's called Beams. B-E-A-M-Z. Come on, don't do the update. How do I just quit the update? Oh gosh, okay. Hold on, I'm going to do a quick restart. Here we go. Sorry about that. We'll do this real quick while we're looking at this. I think I can do it quick. No. We have to restart. Beams is an app that you can download for free, B-E-A-M-Z, and it has all these built-in songs, so a kid can start a backing track, then you can play 4 instruments that are just these laser beams, and when you touch them, you're playing piano, you're playing cello, you're playing drums, you're playing something there, so I can get that in front of kids, and kids can start, darn, I didn't want to do that update right now, so now I'm really stuck, so darn it. So let's see if I even got beams over here. Beams. No, I'm going to go ahead and do GarageBand. Okay, GarageBand, okay. So let's just try this, okay? I'm going to hook you up to a microphone, and I get all the kids plugged into one amplifier. Okay, how many times have you played drums in front of people on stage? Never, right? She's trying it for the first time with me. Thank you. I'm honored that you're doing that. I'm going to stick this right here, and I'm going to plug this into my phone so people can see. Cool. Put this over here a little bit. There we go. Okay. Now, I want you to look over here. See these 2 right here? Got 2 fingers there. Go like that, right? Now, your other hand here. Now go. Now this. Good, not bad. Keep going, just keep going. Dun, 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 dun. Now, every once in a while, and this is a tiny screen, but if you're on the school bus and you were learning to keep rhythm, you were learning to keep time, you're just playing around with music a little bit, you can practice on the bus and get better at something. So we're going to do a roll now. We're going to go. Watch out here. Digga, right? It's not the same as having sticks. I mean, the sticks are awesome, but I can do this on the bus with no sticks, right? And it'll bother you some because purist drummers want to have everything. But go ahead and give me a dun, 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 dun. It's okay. Now let's do this. We're going to jump out of there. We're going to go over here. We're going to look. What's this? Oh, smart drums. Awesome. What does that do? Roll the dice. Roll the dice down there. Now just touch any of that stuff on the right. Yeah, now let's do it with the music. sharp strings. Look what this does. Just rub your finger up and down on one of those. Gently. Now, let's do it with E. Now, this one, B, C minor, C sharp minor. Now A. Not bad. Okay, cool. So let's get, we tried orchestra. We can do that. We can pluck like this. Now let's see what else I got here. Ooh, smart keyboard. Wonder what it does. Let's see here. Ooh, if I go like this and put it on 2, and then close it. Now touch E. Just touch E. E, the letter E. Cool. Now here's what you're going to do. You're going to touch E. You're going to touch B. You're going to touch C sharp minor. You're going to touch A. When I touch your shoulder, you're going to touch the next thing. It's always going to be E, B, C sharp minor, A. E, B, C sharp minor, A. No matter what. You don't change that, okay? So right now we're in E. I'm going to sing along with you, okay? When I touch your shoulder, you're going to touch B. So get your finger over B, but don't touch it yet. Ready? Can you feel? C sharp minor, get over it. Not yet. Okay, so we start at the beginning again. Touch E. Can you be the sea? A tonight. Ready? Get E. Stay right there. This is the way you left me be. I'm not pretending. See? No love, no hope, no glory. A. No happy ending. Now touch. Yeah, good. Now touch E one more time. Give it up for my girl, ladies and gentlemen. Nice job. All right, so let's just try to. I'm gonna let you down, let you go. I got another volunteer from the studio audience. I'm gonna try something with. And the point I'm trying to make here is, kids can do amazing things with this stuff, right? If you are a musician and you play real good for you, keep doing that. But you can also do some things with this stuff that gets you noticed, and the world's gonna take interest. I'm gonna put a set of drums on here, and this is not gonna be easy because this is gonna be drums on my iPhone because my stupid iPad is now updating its entire operating system because I accidentally pushed a button. Yay, technology, it's fun. Okay, but I need to borrow my cameraman here, so can you come up here? Yeah, I'm talking about you, so come up here, you're gonna be my my drummer here, and I'm going to just take this down. I'm a little bit worried about it moving on me, so I'm gonna do this right here. Yay. Now I just want you to play around with this tiny little drums, but I want you to play with that a little bit, see if you can kind of find your... Okay. Okay, I'm going to do a blues riff with E. Wait a minute, hold on.
Use the jack.
Are you saying he doesn't already have one of those?
Oh, I'm sure he does, somewhere. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do a blues riff with E, and just jump in when you feel it.
downstairs, I have made a stage area where the kids can just come play. And I have lights like this one. See, after Halloween, these lights are $8. After Christmas, they're $8. So buy a bunch of them, plug them in. They have these remotes for your outside Christmas lights. They don't cost very much. You can turn them on from the side. So one of your kids can be the stage manager. The other kids are the talent. I have costumes and fog machines. And the kids are downstairs rocking out. Some of them are playing real drums. Some of them are playing virtual drums. It doesn't matter. We call it a tradigital concert. A tradigital concert. I want to do one more and see if, I want to see if you can keep up with this one. It's been a while since I even done this one anywhere, but back in the 60s, you had to know this one or you weren't really a drummer. Give it up for my man, ladies and gentlemen. Are you a drummer? Yeah, can you come up here and try this? Just real quick, just one little song. Because I can see you out there actually keeping beats. So, and this is usually big on this screen here, so I know it's small, but you probably, just... Okay, so I'm going to do a little, let's see here. I'm just going to do some of that same little bluesy stuff. I just want to see what you can do with it, okay? No. Give me a bass lead in like, bum, 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 and then pick it up from there. A little slower. Bum, 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 bum. Keep doing that. Nice job. So, imagine if we just had a little rehearsal time. I think we should have a digital band or two here in this town. It just keeps going like a garage band, And so, I know you can play the real drums and that's awesome, but there's sometimes when you can't take the whole set somewhere. But if you were in a coffee shop with me and we were sitting there playing a set for 3 hours and you were just thrashing on these drums, people are interested in that, right? So what can we do with all of these things? That's my big challenge is I think that there's some amazing things that we're not doing yet, and I think if kids are busy doing that, they don't have as much time to do, well, stupid things. They say idle hands in the devil's playground, idle digital hands are faster, right? So how do we help kids make good decisions and give them good things to do and let them show off, for gosh sakes? Why not? Let them show us how to do some things. Wouldn't that be awesome? So I'm going to share a story with you. When my kid was little, I bought him a guitar, and he never asked me to teach him how to play. He always liked to do everything that his mom knew how to do, right? So I wanted him to learn how to play guitar, and when he was 16, he finally came to me and said, "Dad, will you teach me guitar?" I said, "Why?" He said, "I think girls would like it." Yeah, girls would like it. So ask your mom about that, okay? So, fine. So I got him a guitar, but then he didn't come. He went to his room. He goes to his room, and I'm just listening to see what he's doing without help. And this is what I hear him doing. I hear this. I'm like, how is he achieving that? Yeah, can I come in? Sure. Dad, it's not personal. By the way, it's always personal when they start that way. I'm learning from a guy on YouTube. I waited 16 years for this little jerk to want something from me. He's learning from a guy on YouTube. I'm sorry, but I didn't handle it very well. I said, good luck. I hope that works for you. By midnight, it was working quite well for him. He's playing parts of the song I've only dreamed of playing. I busted into his room to see the man who's teaching him. Here's the man right here. I said, I didn't tell you that. He said, Dad, keep watching.
son. He looks like he's just potty trained, doesn't he? Then my kid said something that changed my life. He said, Dad, I can learn from this kid because I can rewind him as many times as I want, and he doesn't know how many times it took me to figure it out. And I realized that's kind of powerful, right? You have a teacher who never gets impatient. So yeah, when my kid's not home, I'm learning from this kid because he's really good, right? One of the tools that I like to show kids is the one I'm about to show you here. This is a tool that I show kids. It's called Google Alerts. If you Google the words Google Alerts, you're going to find a place on Google where you can set up an alert on anything you want, and Google will search for it all the time. And when it finds it online, it will send you a link. Things like your name, things like your kid's name, things like the name of the boy who's dating your daughter, things like your school's name, anything you want to know more about. So if I have a Google alert on Inman High School, I'm a board member there for 2.5 terms. I care what people say about our schools. If you're talking about Inman High School online, I'll get an email with a link to where you're talking within the hour. So if you want to watch your own back, monitor your own brand, set up a Google alert on your name. Make sure you put your first and last name in quotation marks, or Google will search for every derivation, and you'll get spammed to death by your own Google alert. So quotation marks, be very specific about what you're looking for. But man, what you could find. Free tools for parents. Free apps for moms. Free tools for the classroom. You know, I have a Google alert on my name. If you're blogging about me after this is over, I'll be in touch. Because I monitor my brand. I do. Yeah, and I think we should all do that these days. Some of the tools that we can use with kids, one of my favorite ones to use with kids is SketchUp. Who's using SketchUp? SketchUp is 3D design software that works on Macs and PCs, and you can use it for free. I'm going to show you some SketchUp things that I've been doing with kids. I'm going to launch SketchUp, the old version and then the new version. So if I launch the software, and I've been doing this with grade school kids all the way to high school kids. So I show this to kids and say, kids, don't erase the guy, because if you erase the guy, you'll lose your sense of proportion. So let's design something. First, let's try everything on the menu. We'll click the hand, and we can move things around. We'll click the orbit tool. We can change the plane. We click the rectangle, and I click here, and I drag. Watch the bottom right-hand corner. I'm getting dimensions in real time. What's this cost again? I let go of my cursor. It pours a concrete slab. But wait, there's more. I click the push-pull tool. Let's go back in here. Let's go into... I just sweated on my own... little board there. Let me move this over. Okay, I'm hoping you can see that. Let's go like this now. Yeah, a little better. There we go. Okay, now the push-pull tool. I grab this guy here. I click here. I pull. Below ground, above ground. Below ground, above ground. If I click this, I can move it this way, this way. But now let's do an intersection of two different things. So I've got that going on. Let's grab now this guy and go like this. I just put those things through one another, right? Now let's do the push-pull tool again. Click, pull. Now let's change the plane. Right? How many seconds did that take? How many minutes did that take? Now if I click the cursor and click delete and click like the roof, I can open the place up. Now I can look inside. Now I'm doing interior decoration. I just wish I had things like, I don't know, surface covers. Ooh, Rick said cladding. Cool. I click that, click that, click that. Let's look inside here. What else do they have? Ooh, carpet and textiles. Awesome. So let's tilt this down a bit so that I can see inside. Click this, click this. All right, kind of cool, sort of cool. Here's where it gets fun. I used to do automotive design with kids, and they would design cars with clay. Clay. Right? I didn't have this then. Now kids can do design of cars, motorcycles, airplanes, whatever they want. This costs how much again? When I am done with this, when I save it, I can export to a file format that lets kids 3D print these things. So a kid could design an iPhone case or an Android case or whatever, a necklace, a pendant, whatever they decide. Right? So now you're suddenly a jewelry designer if you want to be. Let me open up the newest version of SketchUp. SketchUp, okay, that's what it's called. And they even have a web-based version for Chromebooks. Finally! Mm-hmm. Oh, thank God. It all takes bandwidth, though. Okay, so here's my version for of the new one for Apple. Let's move this over a bit, and let's look in the 3D warehouse. What's in the warehouse, Mr. Honeycutt? Everything.
Like what? Every state capital, the Conestoga wagon, the Prairie schooner, the Parthenon, the Pantheon, the human heart, the human brain, the human eye, the circulatory system, the skeletal system, the nervous system. Think about the reports you could do for class where you could take people on a tour of part of the human body instead of using a poster or PowerPoint. You could have a three-dimensional interactive thing that we can do. So I'm going to go open something recent here. I'm going to open up this ancient ship. Let's pretend that I'm in class and I'm doing a report on ancient ship construction. Okay, so this ancient ship, guys and girls, that I'm showing you would be a wooden-hulled vessel. These would travel through the Black Sea. The Black Sea is an ancient trapped body of water, 600 to 6,000 feet deep. These ships moved through the Mediterranean and the Black Sea for a millennium, all the way back to before the time of Christ. And Robert Ballard, the guy who found the Titanic, estimates 1 million of these sank in that millennium, and he thinks they're in perfectly intact states of preservation on the bottom of the Black Sea. Why, class? Because below 600 feet in the Black Sea, there's no oxygen. The water is anoxic, which means no mollusks that eat wooden-hulled vessels. These are called teredos. There are none in the bottom of the Black Sea, according to theory. Guess what? It's true. They started looking for these ships of antiquity after the wall came down. The Soviet Union no longer controlled those waters. When they went in there and started looking, they found these ships intact, with the carpenter's marks intact, with the cargo intact, the wine intact, the beeswax seals of the amphora intact. Please tell me I have your attention, class. So think of the assignments I could do. I've got you hooked by, this is kind of interesting, right? Ballard thinks they're going to find bodies in these wrecks. And not mummies, bodies that look hypothermic from the time of Christ because of the water and the lack of oxygen. Stomach contents intact from the morning of the voyage. So I have a writing prompt for you. Let's pretend that we found a body in one of these shipwrecks. We brought it up and put it on the ship, and 2 shipmates grab a cardio resuscitation unit for fun and go, and he wakes up. I want 1 page called Millennium Man. Go. How many of you are like, oh my gosh, right? So I'm using the combination of software that costs how much? And a really good story to make you want to stay after school and keep working. I get parents who call me and go, what did you do to my son? What do you mean? He's totally fixated on this whole ancient ship thing. I'm like, you're welcome. It's my job is to plant thought bombs in their head that they can't stop thinking about. That's why I want to use the technology. By the way, I got to work with your teachers today. And they're all over this, right? They're ready to jump in and try a whole bunch of new things. And I'm excited about that because not everybody is. I think that's good for your kids. I'm looking at the clock and I'm running out of time. Let's see what I got. Oh, I got to show you a couple of stories. This is one that happened after we started using SketchUp in class with kids.
We learned about civilizations, and our teacher, Miss Heron, thought it would be fun to make a museum, virtual and real. When she had first told us this, we thought she was crazy.
We got a vote on what we really wanted to be.
I was an archaeologist.
I was the architect, cartographer,
Author, geologist,
My group was South Central America,
medieval Europe,
ancient China,
ancient Mesopotamia,
India, ancient Rome.
I don't think learning should be inside 4 walls, inside one textbook. We could not get excited about going to school, and he would drag his feet out the door every day. And last night, it was 7:38.
We could not get excited about going to school. He would drag his feet out the door every day. Last night it was 7:30, 8 o'clock. We finally had to come pick him up. How many of you kids would like to try to use this software? Yeah. Well, yeah, right? Right? So a lot of times it's just a matter of us trying it. It doesn't cost anything, right? So wouldn't it be fun? This thing I'm standing behind, this thing called the Godium, is a student design product. I asked some kids if they could build this for me. They went to SketchUp and designed this. It's a suitcase that turns into a podium, back into a suitcase. I pay $135 each for these, and I'm glad to pay it because they last for a year, and suitcases last for half a year. So this is a good deal. Right? Their first designs look like this, cardboard. That lasted how long on the road, do you think? I didn't say anything. I took it, and when it broke, I sent them pictures, on Instagram, and said, Godium is broken, underwear on tarmac. Hashtag fix this, right? So they kept working on it. They had different versions of it. This thing has its own Twitter life, by the way. It's @GoGodium on Twitter. That's their brand, Godium, right? High school kids. These are their sketches. Now they have an entrepreneur class where they invent stuff and they learn how to do provisional patents. so they can own the patent and sell the patent. This is all happening in a tiny school in western Kansas. So then I said, I want a stool. What do you mean? I want a stool that I can take inside the Godium and I can sit on wherever I go on the road. This is what I've been sitting on during this presentation is their product here. Okay. They designed this in AutoCAD. I'm going to show you what it looks like. The lid comes off like that, see? The seat. Oh, you want your name in it? $25 upcharge. Well, they're getting smart now. Right? So this is the little thing your feet go on, but it also locks the whole thing together. This comes out. They sold 40 of these to one customer the week they got mine done. One makerspace bought 40. You know who buys these? Musicians. These high school kids have a product. It's good. Put that in Sky Mall, wonder how many they sell next quarter. So this is not a game. This is not a joke. This is not a cute thing we do after school. It's a freaking way to let kids be entrepreneurs. And this is one thing. What else could they do? One of my favorite tools I get to show kids, I show them lots, but here's the development of this thing. And now we have a class at that school. We have a class where kids learn to do this, and we have a curriculum. Here's the kids that designed it. These are shy farm boys from western Kansas who now are entrepreneurs, or they think of themselves that way, right? Some amazing things that they can do. I wanted to show you one more thing before I let you loose here. One of my former students and something that he did. Oh man, so many things I could show you. But let's see here. I'll do this one. Let's pretend that you did a drawing and it's pretty good, or you did a photograph and it's pretty good. You want to do more with it, but you don't know what to do. So you go to a site called Spoonflower, spoonflower.com, where you can upload your design and print your own fabric with your design on it. Yeah, you can print fabric. You can also do wallpaper. You can do wrapping paper, and that's pretty cool. This is a blanket that my mom, she bought my fabric I designed on my iPad. It's a picture of my baby. And she bought it, and she made a baby blanket out of the fabric I designed with my baby on it, and gave it to me for Christmas. As soon as I handed this to Gibson, he knew it was him, and he just hugged it, he wrapped himself up in it, and I thought, man, what a time that we live in, that I can go from a drawing on my iPad to a real blanket. Pass that around so you can see, it's just cotton, it's no big deal, but what can you do on Spoonflower? What can kids do? This is one website, I've got 100 of these, but I'm just going to show you this one. And I gotta let you loose because I don't want to keep it too long. I'm gonna go to spoonflower.com, Spoonflower, and take you to my page here. Here's my phone over there. And suddenly the web stops working. Come on, baby. Okay, I want you to look at the top of the page. I can do fabric, and this is my studio. Some of these are photographs, and some of these are drawings, all right? But I have this many kinds of fabric that I can buy for myself. So all of you can do this too. So let's pretend this spring your school has a fashion show, and it's all student-designed fashion, right? That you all practice sort of the fashion industry. At the top of the page, if I click Roostery, it takes me to another service where I can take my designs and turn them into pillows, napkins, towels, and furniture. There could be a chair in the office or two chairs in the office with student designs all over them, right? So now your kids are in the furniture industry, in the clothing industry. Wait a minute, there's one more thing. At the top of the page, there's one that says Sprout. At Sprout, you can work together with designers and create clothes, and they will ship those clothes to you already made, or they'll ship them to you and you can put them together. Please tell me this is interesting to somebody in the room. Is this interesting to anybody in the room? This didn't exist and now it does. Last one, Shapeways. Shapeways.com. Shapeways.com. Okay, so we can publish our own fabric in that school. We can publish our own books using Lulu. So now we've got students who are designing their own books and publishing them, and they have legal copyrights. This is a junior high kids book at lulu.com. Now Lulu Junior is around for little kids. So now you upload your Word document with pictures, you choose cover art, you click publish, and your book is available and ships to people worldwide. You're suddenly an author with a copyright. Lulu.com. Self-publishing for free. Cool? Sort of cool? I'm doing this with kids in Wisconsin right now. This is Shapeways. So let's say you just did an awesome design with SketchUp, and now you want to take it to the next level. So you get a storefront on Shapeways, and now I can go buy your product. So I'm going to go to one of my students' pages. His name online is Clean3D. These are his designs. So he just published this one. This is a copy of my steampunk guitar that I had designed. I can print in 3D, right? And I don't just print it in 3D, I can buy it. And it will ship to me in 40 different materials. I can sell it in gold, I can sell it in silver. I can sell it, well, in polished brass, 18 karat gold plated, stainless steel, all of those. So suddenly now I have a design that ships worldwide in 40 materials. So I'm an entrepreneur now with worldwide sales. Please tell me, parents, this is an interesting time, right? Look at all the things our kids could be doing. Or we could be playing just games. So I want to challenge kids to do amazing things. I know they can do amazing things, but we have to challenge them to do those things, right? And stand beside them on the digital playground. This is my closing slide. Thanks for staying awake. When I was a little kid, I was running through the house in my diaper, and I had a pair of those things called tweezers. And I was smart. I know they had 2 prongs, and these things on the wall had 2 holes. I knew they went together. Don't do this, kids. I walked up and plugged it in the wall. I dead short 110 volts. It knocked me back. When you do that, a fireball comes out of the wall. My fingers are black, the wall was black, my diaper was full. Involuntary muscle contraction. I didn't think about that for a long time until I got a little older and a little wiser and a little boy. He's going to stick tweezers in the wall. My job is to be there beside him on that digital playground. People want to buy a filter and be done. I think the only filter there is family and talking to your kids. Just talk. I wish it was, it's not more complicated than that. Talk to your kids, live beside them on the digital playground. I'm honored that you stayed here. I'm going to hang around in case there are other deeper questions. Thanks for listening, guys and girls.